Rattle and roll.
Good over here.
Don't even get a gavel. Call to order the Diamond Head July 25th regular meeting at 4:02. All present, please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And more justice for some.
And all the justice for me, they're gonna burn the flag in front of DWSD.
Right.
Damn right, hang on.
All right. Madam Tony, would you mind taking roll?
Chairman Brian Griffith,
Here.
Vice Chairman Louis Ortel,
Here.
Treasurer Mark Bisecker,
Here.
Commissioner Arlen Griffey,
Here.
and Commissioner Eric Nolan.
Here.
Thank you.
Noted, we have a full house. Thank you. All right. Unless it came in separate from the communication that I had prior to this, the agenda that we were submitted is being offered up without amendment. Is that correct? Can I get approval of this agenda?
So moved. Second.
Commissioner Ortel motions to approve the agenda. Commissioner Nolan seconds. All in favor of approval of this action signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And it is the one under which we will operate. Thank you. Public comments this evening, Ms. Wilson?
Yes, sir.
Item 4.1, specifically seeking a motion to approve the minutes from our past meeting held on July 11th, 2024, submitted to the board for prior approval. Can I get a
So
motion?
moved.
Commissioner Griffey motions. Can I get a second?
Second.
Commissioner Nolan seconds. All in favor of approval of this action signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that is carried. Moves us into the director's report.
Thank you, sir. We'll start with the altitude valve project. Contracts are expected to be presented next week, and we'll move forward with that immediately following. The Lift Station 17 force main project is now underway. Construction has started out there on Diamond Head Drive East, and things are moving pretty well considering all the rain delays or rain days we've had. So Lift Station 26, the stop order is still in effect due to those materials being delayed till October. No abandonment of easement this meeting. The drainage ditch at Colo Court is hanging in there, and I have not heard anything new. I know the city was putting together that bid package, got it awarded, and they're going to get started. That's supposed to be at the top of their list for those projects, according to Mr. McCraw. And the highlights from the maintenance department this past period have been 5 sewer cleanouts installed, 2 water service line repairs, 8 after-hour emergency responses, 6 being water, 2 being sewer. Tonight we will have the GIS integration presentation of our new GIS Pro system immediately following this report. The Water Tower 1 warranty claim on the paint issue. We have made a request that the original paint contractor go back and repaint portions of the white on the bulb, if you will, the ball. No response yet, but we'll be meeting with the engineers next week to discuss the next steps and possibly proceeding with legal as we need. The proposed new construction project reviews, the sanctuary subdivision has been revised and approved and is underway. They're out there starting work on that now as we speak. The preserve phase 2 subdivision structures of Diamond Head, we are awaiting response from the owner's engineer since June on those drawings. Diamond Head Lakes phase 2 is still on hold and haven't heard anything there, and the AutoZone drawings are under review at this time. So unless you have questions.
Any members, any questions from the report?
No, sir.
No, sir.
I have a couple comments and
Yes,
questions. So on the force main, the station 17, just came into that transaction 2 hours ago. Did again yesterday afternoon. And there's not a lot of way around this, okay? But my issue on it has to be a learned process and learning in real time. The interaction of the equipment sets, the offload, the piping, everything just happens to be coincidence, but that's just a coincidence of the 2 times I'm right there. So it's not necessarily a coincidence, it's happening, I'm right there present when it happens. It creates such a cluster at the road intersection for the traffic in this particular case being the inside lane, going to the circle, that it becomes instantly dangerous, I mean instantly. And when you watch and you realize today it's the sand material being deposited for the whole fills and the like, the piping, everything, it's all within a size of this room right here. It's all within the size of that room. And I don't know that there is or isn't. I'm not going to tell you, I don't know the logistics operation there, but if there is a way to at least unwrap that a little bit, we have people that are not expected to come down those roads and find that. And it's just very evident that while you may not know, you have a sense that there's probably a way to make this just a bit easier. Not everybody's noticing the infrastructure that has to be put in the ground, but it's just that incredible clustering.
Mm-hmm.
And then the sudden 90-degree turn to go the opposite lane, and then 90-degree turn again to come up the opposing lane. And by the way, that opposing lane is not flagged, so they don't know that anybody's going to do that. So they're meeting simultaneously, right? That was me, meeting me, just by example. So my reason for bringing this up is I just project forward to many such intersections of that pipe set going on through all of these projects. Just need to sit and think and talk about that. Is
Yes,
there
sir.
a way to relax that a bit?
Yeah, I'll check it out after this meeting, but we have warned them to increase their traffic control policies and safety measures already. So I would definitely check that out this afternoon and make adjustments accordingly.
It suffices to say it's hotter than Hades.
Oh, my, yeah.
Humidity is oppressive out there. Everybody's just wanting to get it done. But then you have the come home traffic,
Yeah.
the rush hour traffic, and I mean, it's just crazy.
We've had discussions about that right
Okay.
in that spot
So-
because of the logistics in that area.
Right. The second notice point, and this is just an artifact of being the guy, right, down the street, and you're meeting. So each one of those penetrations is not a pleasant thing. And I just want to make sure we have knocked on the door and told people we have a very unpleasant wart we're leaving in the front yard, but we are going to fix it. If we haven't done that, there's always usually two homes involved.
Yes, sir.
In
We
that-
have spoken to those with the exception of one who was apparently not responsive. But,
Was that the one with the cardinal on the mailbox?
yes, in the middle.
His wife's
Cross-
been in the hospital for 3 weeks and she's not gonna make it.
Mm.
Okay.
So we haven't been able to contact that
Right.
home.
But that's why. But anyway, just like I said, as long as we just make absolutely certain on that checklist, we make positive contact with those folks and say, yeah, this is messy business, but when we get done, you'll largely know we weren't here.
Good news is that's a short project, so we'll be
Yeah.
over pretty quickly.
But even to that point, my point is, that's a short project, because today it's there, there's tomorrow's project.
sir.
It's gonna have exactly the same footprint, in terms of the execution, right?
Yes, sir.
So,
We
Thank-
will address that.
thank you for indulging me.
No problem. Any other questions?
No.
With that, we will proceed with the GIS system presentation with Patrick and Tony from Digital Engineering, which we're excited to show you guys. We've been using this now for a few weeks, and with anything new, there's always tweaks and bugs to work out, but it's working
Yeah.
pretty well.
So this is the
Guys-
victim you offered up to be beat up?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
the
so
guys-
on the screen, we have a web page ready of, giving us some examples of what we've done so far in the system. So today, my name is Patrick Stegman, and I'm here with Tony San Martin, and we work with Digital Engineering, and we're going to talk about modernizing DWSD's GIS system. So real quick, what is GIS? GIS stands for Geographic Information Systems. So essentially what it is it's a place where we can collect all this data. A lot of this data is beneath the ground and unable to see with the common eye. So we take all that data and we're able to put it on like a Google Earth type image and be able to look at that data, and it helps David and Diamond Headwater Sewer District to make informed decisions of where those utilities are and everything else. So some of the common uses of GIS is data collection, data storage, data asset management, mapping and visualization application, and communication. So the system that David referred to is the ArcGIS Online and ArcGIS Pro system. It's also commonly referred to as AGOL. And so some of the benefits of utilizing this new system is we're able to update the ArcGIS professional. Now you have an updated system, that platform. You're able to publish that platform, which is built specifically for municipal use. It's a new and improved user interface, and it also enables the use of cloud databases. And so one of the things also is we're using Esri, which had an old system ArcMap that hasn't been updated since 2010, and they moved into this new system, the ArcGIS Online system, and that's essentially so they can use this more Internet of Things age, where we're able to view, collect, and track the data out in the field. Now I'll go over a little bit of the project. So the purpose of the project was to upgrade Diamond Headwater Sewer District's GIS system to ArcGIS Online, and this was to allow the district to access and transmit the information from the field at any time, from anywhere in real time. And also it was to incorporate the new district's assets to GIS. So we separated it into 2 phases. It was the integration and the technical training of the ArcGIS Online database, and then there was going to be the next phase, which was the ongoing annual maintenance of that as well. So breaking it down even further, we separated phase 1 into 3 separate tasks. The first task was the assessment of the existing assets. So we essentially met with David to kind of kick off the meeting. We kind of went over with all the existing information that they had, and we took all that information in, we archived it, we reviewed it, and saw what was necessary for him, and we kind of brought all that new information, we call them primary assets, and brought them up into the cloud. So the next was we also met with David, and we kind of saw that there's a lot of a backlog of work orders and a lot of new project as-builts that needed to be inputted into those primary assets and be updated to the new current setup of the existing system. And then after we were able to put the information up in the cloud and update it to the current system, we went ahead and got with the supervisors and kind of developed this user guide of how are they able to utilize this software and for the best of their ability, for the best of their needs, and meet that as well. So we met with them, we went over the system. It actually was kind of impressive how we went through it, because they ended up giving us feedback about how we set it up and how we can kind of optimize the use of using ArcGIS Online. So moving into phase 2, we kind of kicked off into going into the ongoing annual maintenance of the ArcGIS Online system. So when looking at the old work order system, we felt like there was a need to be more efficient with using this new ArcGIS Online cloud. We came up with this new work order system, whereas when the supervisors are out in the field, they might see that, hey, this force main isn't, it's not correctly shown, or it could be shown better to what's actually out there, because they're the guys that have the real information. We're assisting them essentially. So we set up this new work order system where they're able to use the iPads that were given to them, and they're able to, while out in the field, write their notes and say, hey, look, this force main isn't in the correct location. Can you come in here and update it to the correct location? So, and they're able to take pictures and kind of show that as well.
Are they interacting back to you guys on like iPads or tablets or that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so when they can talk to us on the phone and say, hey, do you see this? Does this look right or anything? and we can come and make updates real time if they're not seeing something correctly shown as well. So there's always this like constant ability to work between the office and people out in the field as well. So yeah, I think Tony has a stack of what the old papers used to be.
Trying to remember, I brought these just to show like 240 work orders. That's what that map was, is a view of all those green dots of the 240 that was put in there. The purple ones are the new stuff that's going in the iPad directly.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
green ones are still on paper?
They're integrated now,
Okay, all right.
but they're represented by just a little dot. Those are the locations.
Yeah, so we, for example, a lot, that was what we were giving us was all those the pieces of paper, which were really helpful. But we had to figure out where they all are, put them onto GIS, and then from there we individually, each one of them, after figuring out where they were, we slowly made those updates to make sure that they were correct, and then we coordinated with them all along the way. So essentially we're able to, from the front, get their information and put it in the exact location of where we need to update it. So for example, what he's showing here is that red line was something that during the training, one of the supervisors was like, hey, there's a force main on one side and this other force main should be relocated. So he said, hey, look, let's test this work order and let's put it in there and we'll come in and make the update. So that's just what we're kind of showing here. So. Yeah. Yeah, and so what we have right here is a utility geo portal that's available that we wanted to show y'all with just everything available that's been uploaded to the cloud.
So let me see if I can recite this back to you. So any of the DWSD infrastructure that has had prior work is both geo-referenced and historically now digitally libraried to that geo-referenced point.
Yes. Yeah, so this is actually, so David has done a really good job of having that information in the old database. So we were able to upload that into the cloud and have it updated to this current system. But it's not necessarily survey grade, but it gets you really close to where it is. So.
So if one of their guys are out in the field with an iPad and has a valve or something that maybe isn't in the system, can they take a coordinate where they're standing on top of that and then suck it right into the GIS and now it's in the system?
Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, so, they have an iPad now that's available for DWSD, and while they're out in the field, maybe checking a site, it's going to, just like how you have your phone, it's going to know exactly where you are with that cellular capability, and it's able to pinpoint your exact location and create that point of where you want it to be right there.
Just for clarification, they cannot edit in the field. They can put in a work order. These
Right.
guys and myself can do the editing.
For QA.
Yes, sir.
So the other thing, I assume, being able to run online and off of an iPad or other technology. Suppose you got in the sanctuary project, you or Joe, and suddenly there's almost a field determination that they want to alter the road system to go this way. You can literally drill in right there and see, no.
Absolutely.
That's not a great idea.
Right.
There's a water line running right down the middle of your road.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, the way I like to think about it is like David's already gone through all this effort, and we've been working with them and putting this up in the cloud, and we're able to empower the supervisors and David to make those decisions real time.
So
and be able
when
to-
I first came to work here, David told me he was the only person that knew that. Now you have it logged on the
Yeah.
GIS, and we don't need David anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I got a question.
I smell a vacation.
When-
Be
when
careful, you
finish
just worked
this-
yourself out of a job.
That's right.
Louise, here you come.
There you
I
go.
like to leave it better than the last guy left it for me.
There you go. When you finish the scope of the entire project that they've already laid out in front of you, how close will it be to survey grade?
Really depends on the record.
Of course. I mean,
It's-
but you don't have an opinion yet?
So I'm an engineer, and I use GIS every day to help make conceptual level design
Right.
plan decisions. As a design engineer, I would say you still need to get a survey.
Right.
You need to make a design decision.
I don't know that that's important to us anyway, but, thank you.
Dr. Griffith, it would certainly be as accurate, wherever the data came from.
Right,
If
right.
it was survey grade and it was input that way, the numbers in the system
That's right, yeah.
would match. But, somebody goes out in the field with with an iPad or with a phone, and, hey, I found a valve out here that we didn't know we had, and you shoot that coordinate, well, it is what it is.
Yeah, through time, yeah,
Right,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
right.
I
Yeah.
understand. I was just curious.
It's gotten pretty impressive how spot on it can be. Now, if you're under a
Yeah.
tree, it can be a little, a couple feet there, a couple here,
Right.
there, but it could be within a foot.
With the,
So-
with the way they're uploading the coordinates, the geo, how close is that? Is that within a meter, within half a meter? Do we know off the top of our head?
Who was feet or less, foot or less?
Foot or less? Oh, that's
That's-
fantastic.
Yeah, the accuracy
Yeah.
was foot or
Yeah.
less.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah.
And, with any imagery, aerial photography,
Yeah.
there are angles. The
Absolutely.
airplane angles, the arc of the earth, so to speak, and all that comes into play with your imagery.
Mhm.
But the coordinates are pretty precise.
That's,
on
that's
the
awesome.
Like if you have a water line break in the middle of the night, water shooting everywhere.
You'll be able to find that, yeah.
Shut the valves off, can't sort of go and fumble around looking for drawings and as-bills, and you got this iPad with all the data, and then you just go out to the
Wow.
intersection and you locate it.
Are they using that now, David? Or are we online with this now and
Yes.
using it like that?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And we're still tweaking.
Sure, of course, of
We
course.
find things,
It'll go on forever, really. I
oh
mean,
yeah, it's endless, and,
I don't know how many layers do you guys currently have defined?
Ooh, there's a lot. Y'all have the golf course on there as well, so you got your fairways and sidewalks.
Patrick said we had more layers than most people have in their
Yeah.
system.
At tennis, we have like 22 layers, which I thought was impressive.
Oh, I got 22 just in sewer alone, I think, close to it.
A lot of them, there's still other layers. but
Wow.
Right.
there's-
I guess it's fine. I'm not trying to, it's not,
It's a lot.
No, yeah.
Well, what he's gone through is over 50, right?
yeah, I think so. I was
Once
watching
in your, once in your
myself.
web, yeah.
I'd hate to have to maintain 50 layers.
That's what I was, that's kind of where I was going.
What kind of historical data you have on work orders? you
Most of
put
this
it?
stuff are items that our guys found to be incorrect. So we just did a kind of a sketch map, using our old GIS format, and just, some of them we took measurements and passed it on to Patrick and Tony, and they
Mhm.
plugged it in with accurate lines and.
I was thinking
It's
for
good to
having
see
the, having the possibility of down the road, which y'all probably already know where your weak links are anyways, but having to show how many repairs you have over a certain amount of time, just solidify. You may not be there yet.
Yeah, we didn't really catalog the repairs like that,
Mhm.
but all of the locations, locating these lines,
Mm-hmm.
modern plumbing, so to speak, piping, you've got trace wires on everything.
Sure.
What we inherited was obviously not done that way.
Right.
So over the years, and that's one of the beauties of having a staff that's been here a long time together, we kind of all know where this and that, and
Mm-hmm.
like we did with these work orders, it's easier than somebody walking in the door. They didn't never figured it out.
Oh, absolutely.
You know.
Yeah, yeah.
So do the information that we put in from new projects, force mains, manholes, fire hydrants, those have dates on them, right? So you kind of know when that infrastructure was installed.
Yeah.
So, 30 years down the road or whatever the life cycle is for those infrastructure components, you can use that obviously in planning,
Mm-hmm.
budgetary wise, going forward.
Yeah, and Tony, can you maybe click one of the assets? like just go click a water valve or. And so that, you know, I'd like to say this is data rich, is you're really able to take this and apply a lot more data to it. So you can do things such as assessments and store that data on here, and that way you can refer back to it later on in life, and be able to keep that. So for example, like there might be limited information based off of on this one water valve, but you're able to, you can always integrate more information in here to keep up to date. So.
Yeah, not having a full-time GIS staff. You know, we
No,
accumulate some of it, plug it in, accumulate some more,
Yeah.
plug it in. So it's gonna always be a work in progress, virtually endless.
Unless more and more use of the iPad in the field is the medium of capture, then you're not posting and then looking to get the shoebox out and
Yeah.
go
Thumb through
mine
it.
the data. Right.
Yeah.
Very impressive. Of course, we invested pretty heavily in it, so I wanted to see
Yeah.
what it was doing.
Yeah, it was a real pleasure. If y'all have any questions for me.
So Patrick, could you kind of mention or talk about how our system compares to our neighbors in the coast?
Yeah. So I think, right, I said that the ARC map system, which was the old system, was updated in 2010. I mean, the last update was in 2010. So they, Esri, who's the company that provides the software, ever since then, they implemented this new program, the ArcGIS Pro and ArcGIS Online system. And so they've been slowly integrating into it, and they've reached a point where in 2026, I think March, is they're going to stop providing any security updates on it. So there's a need to make this update, and people are starting to do it now, but we're definitely on the top and on the front of that, getting ahead of the game and getting this done now.
You're saying there's no more updates to the old 2010 system?
Yeah, no more updates. That's the last time they've received a major update.
So that's end of life for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
I know Dr. Griffey knows this, but y'all, and I'm sure you do too, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Esri is the world dominant. It's basically the Microsoft of this technology. And
Dangerman has a very nice product.
beg your pardon?
The CEO has a very nice
You're
product.
right.
Yeah, family owned too,
So
I think.
it's the
Yeah.
underlying Google Earth
Yeah.
structure, all of it.
Mhm.
So, yeah. So this just has no context other than the basis of my question. The next obvious move with having this kind of infrastructural database and capacity is the integration of AI into, I got way too many leaks in this particular sector of the system. What's my best route map for maintenance and upgrade, right? Isn't that correct?
Yeah.
Working back mine, all of that.
Your recent water meter upgrade, I mean, you guys have, you already have leak detection and warning. I mean, it's just a matter of time, what you're talking about. It's only going to get
There's
more
already
sophisticated.
routing, like if you give it whatever points, it will tell you the best way and shortest path to go to. So there's already maintenance routing you can assign.
Cheapest upgrade kind of thing.
Well, maybe not necessarily to upgrade as much as like literally, what's the best route you should take to get
Yeah.
to these points?
Yes, with our meter system that we put
Right.
in, we already have coordinates on all the meters.
Right.
So all this is coming
Yeah.
together nicely.
Integrating. That is nice.
Right.
Jefferson Parish, 450,000 residents, they're about to embark on their AMI program, which you've been finished with now. For 3 years, I think.
Do you have that contract, Bruce?
18.
There's several of us involved in it.
Of course.
It's a big, I mean, I think it kicks off pretty good in January, and there's gonna be a lot of people that's all they're gonna be spending their time on.
Don't
That's right.
forget the little people on your way up, Bruce. Don't forget that.
How many years will that take? Estimate?
You know, they got.
5?
It's 3 to 5
Yeah,
years.
5 years. That's what I would think.
Just finding meters.
Oh, I know.
you
I know.
And it's, don't even get me started on the city of New Orleans, but just to find a meter where it is, I mean, you know, you guys here, relative, it's not too hard to go find somebody's meter, right? But, yeah, so just that process alone, the field work.
Is it okay if I talk about another project?
Sure.
Is it okay if I talk about another project?
Sure.
Yeah, so me and Tony were talking about another project that we were helping out with digital engineering, was taking a sign inventory assessment for like several miles of it, and we were able to get a younger engineer to go collect all the inventory and the condition of all these signs over 1,100 in 4.5 days, which is impressive.
That is impressive.
The best thing is if you don't have an inventory of the sign and a storm comes through, it's a whole lot harder to make that claim.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
It really is.
Yeah, that's something that we've realized with all the St. John.
Coincidentally, I was the city engineer for Waverham when Katrina hit, and we had just finished GPS and all their utilities in right before Katrina.
Wow.
If we wouldn't have done that, I mean, wouldn't have been able to, they had a guy that had been there forever, Dwight Haskell, Brian, they remember him.
Like was yesterday.
If that dude got hit by a car or something, there was no one to tell you anything was, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, Brian made a comment earlier about all the information is housed here now. If something happens catastrophic, God forbid, but the data's, it's safe in hand, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
Katrina taught us a few lessons about how important that is.
So David, if it's not appropriate to discuss here, let me know. But once we finish the project, get the scope of this project, and that's finished and that's done, and then there's not, the outlay for that part of it, will you then propose that we bring somebody on staff who's the GIS manager?
Well-
Because, you have your build it costs and get it right costs, then you have to maintain it.
Not at this time. I don't think
Okay.
we need to go that far. We have these guys
You know, and
on a
Yeah.
monthly maintenance type deal, so they'll keep us updated.
Okay.
And we'll see how that
Yeah.
goes for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we built that new work order system because we care about Diamond Head, and we'd like to stay and help y'all out as much as
Sure.
possible
Yeah.
along the process.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be enough work to warrant a full-time.
That's kind of where my question was going towards is
I don't want this to sound like a sales pitch, but I've already had this conversation with other clients.
Sure.
We're more like, once you build this and you
Right.
kind of put the money into it, maintaining it is not real tough, as long as you keep up with it. And I said, it would be cheaper for you to have us do that than to hire a full-time.
oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And if you hire one, I'll probably hire him away anyway. So,
Or vice
you
versa.
just put it on a client, right?
Or we may poach
Well,
your
well,
employees. as
just to
full-time.
share back with you guys, my question's based on direct experience.
Sure, I mean,
They started a project at Stennis years ago on an older system that we're not using now. And about 7 years ago, and we go through different budget cycles. So we had gone through no budget cycles. And I know that our chairman's been through some of those in the government. 0 is the new up.
Right.
So we went through a series of those. So one of the things that always got cut was the GIS maintenance. Fast forward to about 7 years ago, and we were in a crisis.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, and so knowing that, I'm like, how do we prevent Diamond Head from some future crisis like we went through? And of course, at that moment, it costs a whole lot more to unjack yourself from the problem than it would have cost just to,
Yeah.
Sure.
And I'd like to speak to that, because just like our capital improvement projects that have been kicked the can down the road for the last however many years,
Right.
we tackled this in the last 5 or 6 years in this administration with those projects, same as the GIS. So we hit the bulk of it right off the bat. We got most of this, the AI, the endless data, we can go on and on and on and on. but I don't think we need to add a full-time GIS professional yet. It may come in the future.
That cost benefit can be taken on at
Sure,
a time where it
yeah.
becomes
Yeah.
kind of quizzical.
Right. Like
based on
Bruce
the
said,
cost.
you know, cost analysis was easy to do, and we're like, okay, we'll just pay you guys as we need
Absolutely,
it
right.
for now.
No, it's a good solution. That wasn't, we're not allowed to do that in the government. You can't just bring people on and off. You have to go through RFP. So that was a solution that wasn't available to us. Very painful.
Yeah.
For a minute, you know.
Just thank God you don't get all the government you pay for, right?
Oh, come on, man. You know how it is. Why you gotta hurt me? Because you're retired?
That was
Okay.
that was a good poke there. That was
Why you
good.
gotta hurt
I
me?
like that.
Making 3 times the money.
I know, right? Yeah.
Patrick, thank you. That was, it's a long time coming just to make it work for one of our meetings, but, you know, we've gotten, I don't think we've actually had a meeting where we didn't have some touch of a report on the status of the progress towards this goal. And, you don't have to be a rocket scientist, to clearly see the benefit technologically it would present to so many scenarios.
Yeah.
So thank you.
And again, I appreciate it. It's been a real pleasure working on the project. And,
Yeah, and I'd
really
like to
enjoyed it.
say thank you, Bruce, Patrick, Tony, y'all really knocked it out of the ballpark, and we've got a really nice product, and something that'll benefit the district long after we're gone.
Right.
So, thanks.
I think we have
Yeah,
a
thank you.
person that's looking for the courthouse or the main admin building.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you all.
We can adjudicate that traffic ticket, send it on in.
Yeah.
We only take cash.
Yeah, exactly. And if you have to go to
Receipts.
the ATM, that's okay.
Yes. There's one around the corner here. All right. Thanks again. That was worth the wait. All right, moving into item 6, construction engineering projects. Wow, light tonight. 6, 1, 2, and 3 have no new business this evening. 6-4, miscellaneous construction engineering project, 6-4A specifically. Seeking a motion this evening to approve digital engineering invoice number 13 in the amount of $9,135 for the GIS integration project, period of June 2nd, 2024 through June 29th, 2024, leaving a remaining balance of $18,535 on this contract. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Commissioner
Second.
Tell, Commissioner Nolan, seconds. All in favor of approval of this action signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, and it carries. That's a good move, Bruce, to get that bit right in under the presentation.
Timing
That's
is
pretty
everything.
smart. That's like,
Right. Timing is everything.
Yeah, apparently.
that's pretty smart.
Moving into the financials. Tonight, 7.1, docket of claims and financial report, 7.1A specifically, seeking a motion to approve payment of docket of claims in the total amount of $51,413.89 as attached hereto to our packets.
So moved.
Commissioner Griffey, Commissioner Bisecker, seconds. All in favor of proposed action signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, and that motion carries. 7.1B, motion to acknowledge payment of the unapproved docket of claims as detailed in section 6 in the total amount of $9,135 as attached hereto and noted in the prior section 6. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Commissioner Nolan motions. Commissioner Bisecker seconds. All in favor of proposed action signify by saying aye.
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 And that motion is carried. 7.1C, seeking a motion to approve the payment of the customer deposit refund register this evening in the total amount of $7,084.86. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Nolan, Commissioner Griffey seconds. All in favor of approval action signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And that motion is carried. Old business, item 8, 8.1 specifically, seeking a motion this evening to spread upon the minutes the executed Suncoast Infrastructure Change Order Number 1, which was approved by the board on the July 24th meeting. Can I
So
get-
moved.
Commissioner Tell motions. Can I get a second?
Second.
Commissioner Nolan seconds. All in favor of proposed action signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And it carries. 8.2, motion to spread upon the minutes the executed Coast Connect Internet Service Agreement, which was approved by the board on July 11th. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Commissioner Griffey motions. Can I get a second?
Second.
Commissioner Nolan seconds. All in favor of proposed action signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And that motion carries. No new business this evening. Therefore, it moves us to the motion to adjourn. Let me read the next meeting. The Board of Commissioners is scheduled for August 8th 4 o'clock, this complex, City Hall, Chambers, 5,000 Diamond Head Circle. All in favor of approval of this action to adjourn? I'm sorry, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I have Commissioner Bisecker motions to adjourn, Commissioner Nolan seconds. All in
Yep.
favor of approval of this action